All right. Our 2014 Athena Award recipient in the private sector is Tammy McLeod.
So I got together with some of the former Athenas earlier today, and I asked for their mentorship on how not to cry up here, because I'm a crier, and so I'm just decided to go with it. When I was 13 years old, I entered an essay competition that was sponsored by our local Optimist Club on the meaning of citizenship. And I can remember working on it, World Book Encyclopedia in my lap. The young Athenas have no idea what I just talked about. But while doing that research, what I learned was that most scholars point to ancient Greece and the origin of the concept of citizenship back to the land of Athena. See, the Greeks maintained that citizenship was not set out by law, but in fact it required the active participation of individuals. I was reading about that active participation, voting, active service in government, creation of policy. And I went in to my father and I said, I can write this essay, but I'm 13 and I can't do any of the things that I'm writing about. And he said to me, think about citizenship as the unselfish giving of oneself for the betterment of others. The unselfish giving of oneself for the betterment of others. I finished my essay with my statement that year, and I won the prize. But the real prize was what happened here, that change that occurred within me. You see, this notion of giving of ourselves and outside ourselves and to something bigger than ourselves is what I believe is the spirit of Athena. When I look back over my life to episodes of unselfish giving, my first thoughts go to my teachers. Those professionals who spent their evenings doing lesson plans, spent their weekends grading papers, bought school supplies out of their own money, and they constantly are handed negative headlines, not because of the work they do, but because of the challenges that are layered on them and the lack of support that they receive. My grandmother, Wilma, just turned 97 years old. And she taught in a classic one-room schoolhouse made out of golden limestone in Kansas. She crossed the fields early in the morning when it was still dark so that she could get there in time to go into the cellar and fire up the fire so that the classroom would be warm when the students got there. When they arrived between ages 6 and 16, she prepared individual lesson plans to inspire them to learn to read and write. And she taught them that if it was worth reading or if it was worth writing, it was worth doing well. Today, she gets a check every year for $8. That's her pension for that service. That's a true Athena. In Arizona today, 45% of the children that are attending our public schools fall below the poverty line. 45%. And I believe that if there is one thing that we can do to make this a better place, to increase our community's competitiveness, to create a thriving entrepreneurial ecosystem, better healthcare infrastructure, and a more enhanced arts and culture community, it is by focusing on those children and their education. Because like Pearl said earlier, access to a high-quality education should not be a privilege, but a citizen's right. And as Athenians, in Arizona, we can do better. So closing that educational attainment gap for those students isn't just critical for the students. We heard some great examples today. It's important for our state. And it doesn't matter what side of the aisle that we're on, because it's going to take more than one great idea to fix it and to make it better. And this demands the Athena qualities of skill, of strength, and of strategy. I recently read the book Mountains Beyond Mountains by Dr. Paul Farmer. He's a Harvard physician who goes out into Haiti and encounters incredible poverty and sickness. And as I read that book, I was transformed back to that 13-year-old girl with the World Book Encyclopedia saying, I don't think I could do what this man does. And I turned the page, and there was a quote by Dr. Farmer that said, lives of service depend on lives of support. That reset my compass, because I can always be that life of support. So I want to thank Kimber Lanning, Cynthia Zwick, Ken Schutz, Pearl Lisa Chang, Barry Gold, Dr. Glasper, Barry Broom, for the lives of service that you lead, which allows me to act as a support. Thanks to the Chamber for creating this event. I have met so many new friends in the process. And thanks to Ilya for throwing my name in the hat to start with, to Shelley Eskew for acting as a mentor, and to Di and Linda for holding my life together. I want to thank my parents and my husband, your patience and your partnership, and for truly being unselfish in your charter to make our family better. And thank you to APS, because they give me work that is both engaging and committed to our community. And they don't just value that work, they expect it of me. Finally, there is one huge glaring difference between Athena and I. You see, Athena was a virgin. Don't go there. Gabriel, Calvin, and Tanner, you are my greatest work. You are my hardest job, and you are what I am most proud of. And it's in you that I work to develop the sense of wisdom, courage, and justice that symbolizes Athena. I ask that whether you choose a life of service or a life of support, you respect and you view women as your equal partners in this world, and that you give unselfishly of yourselves for the betterment of others. Thank you.